Yo guys, welcome to the best podcast, the Don't Be Afraid podcast, the best in Nigeria, Africa and the world. And I am your host, Jamila Oiza Muhammad Jamiu. And before we go any further, are you following us on our social media pages? Follow us on our social media pages, Instagram as Playhouse Communications, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Spotify, Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. So, to the cocoa. I have interesting guests with me that are going to be taking us through fraud, many scams in the banking sector in Nigeria. Interesting people, really. Stay tuned. Hello, Alex.
Hey.
How are you?
Camilla. I'm very fine. And you?
Great. I can see that you're very fine. Hello, Frank.
Jamila, are you flirting?
Please. What? No. Hi, Michael.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm all right.
Hope Lagos did not happen to you on your way here.
It did its best.
And you're still looking this fresh. Oh my God. Okay.
Anyways, if you don't hype me, I'm not hype them.
Let me just hype you so it's not like me. It's okay in the house. You're not serious. Anyway, guys. Like I mentioned earlier, fraud and the many scams in the banking sector in Nigeria. But before we even begin to go far, the evolution of banking that I remember from the
primary school.
Hello, duh. From somebody taught us in primary school. And the Yoruba movies that we used to watch, how they used to put money, coins, carries inside clay earthen pots, and then they dig, and they put it
in the
yes.
ground. Yeah.
Pablo Escobar style.
What?
Pablo Escobar.
Yes.
You did. You guys, you are aware of that, but then can you tell us like a bit more about the evolution of banking in Nigeria? Evolution of technology in the banking sector rather.
Okay, so I think basically we have come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you'd ask us 10 years ago that we would not have to step feet in any other bank, like I do I think I have close to maybe like 10 digital banks now, like a lot actually.
Oh wow!
So I rather ditch the traditional banks. Not that there's money. I said I have banks, digital banks, but not that I have money.
You have money.
So I think it's been a long journey, but in as much as we want to say that there are positives, there have been a lot of negatives also. Mm-hmm. We've had pushback from even the so-called regulatory bodies on, the adoption of, the migration from the old way you do things to how they new things.
Yeah, so you're giving directions to CBN.
I'm not. I wasn't here.
Now you see me. Now you don't.
Yeah. So I think there's been the good parts, but there's also been the bad parts also. Okay. And plus with the emergence of new technologies, there's always going to be the bad parts also. So in as much as good things are good, there's still a lot of naughty things that people tend to do. Yeah.
And one thing about the banking industry. People say that it actually became more exploitable because of the advancement in technology.
Yeah.
Because one thing is that when technology advances, people are creating more diabolical ways to get past these technologies.
Right. Yeah. I was actually going to come to that in terms of when you mentioned as technology advances, there are always people that are always looking for ways to maneuver these things. And then I know that in any country, basically, the banking sector is very, very important for their growth. You cannot be making money and there's nowhere to keep your money that you can say it is safe. Mm-hmm. And how can we have like banks and this is supposed to be a safe place for me to let me come pay money so that thief will not they will not dig the floor and carry money away. And then you put it inside the bank and then you have someone calling you and saying, hello.
From your bank.
It's weird because yes, from your bank. It's weird because maybe in my head I just feel like people that work at the bank are supposed to have a certain professional and accent in a way. Maybe if not accent, at least have that professionalism.
Yeah, I get that.
Hello, this is Mr. John from your bank.
Then
they will not say, chill. So and then you know how it goes, and then check the number, first of all, check the number, or they say check the code we sent to you, and then you now begin to like call and then like, when you do not get it, you not get aggressive. You are mad. You are stupid. You are this. I was going to say that few days back, there was a particular video that I saw online on Instagram actually, that the particular scam guy called the lady and was asking her for a code, and then she said 001122, and then she said, no, it's not correct now. She said, okay, 00, or she was changing the numbers, and the guy got frustrated. This is supposed to be a secure space for me. How are my details out there that somebody is telling me he's calling me from my bank? And assuming I'm daft, I'll not send code to him. Next in film, I mean, pew, my money is going.
So now those are the things I was talking about. Those are the things I was talking about. People finding greater ways to exploit people, because the main idea they're trying to do is that if I don't know something about you and I tell you the wrong thing, the human mind is inquisitive. You would naturally want to correct me on that thing. And that's why every bank nowadays, if you get an email from a bank, you see a disclaimer at the bottom. Do not engage any staff that is claiming to be a member of First Bank, UBA, GTB. If you do not recognize the customer care number.
Yeah, and they say the bank will never ask you for your PIN.
Will never ask you for your BV, for BVN all those personal details.
But then, are those people stupid? I mean, are they daft? If the bank clearly says, I mean, they should know that the bank will say they will not ask you for your code.
They have a target on there. So there's something we say in information security. They say people will always be the weakest link. So you can have technologies, like a lot, and you can tell the computer, don't allow this. You have controls in place. I'm sure Alex understands what I'm saying. But when it comes to human beings, there are things that you can do that would probably allow you be, victims to normal stuff like that. So if a human being, which is what we call social engineering, you try and ask some questions, and they feel like it's a normal question you ask. When you ask those questions, the person just spills out. That's a human being.
Starts dropping little details.
So when you drop it once, twice, 3 times, it's very easy for them to say, okay, I think I know what this guy's BVN is. For example, they could ask you questions like, what was your best subject in school? And averagely, you'll be surprised that a lot of people use their best subjects as passwords.
Or their best TV
or
show, or
their
the
date
most,
of birth.
or the most inadvisable one, their birthdays.
So people's passwords are 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. Until now, it still happens. So things like that are things that will relatively happen because human beings are always going to be the weakest link. We actually had to give the computers a very good round of applause in this case. They're actually
they are more smarter than us because human error is like the biggest thing.
So you mean that I'm their target audience, as they used to call me? I'm not that.
No,
we didn't say that. But you see, the average woman, for example,
woman or human.
Okay, maybe that sounded very. But let's say the average
sounded very
wrong. Let's say a guy that is a organizer, for example. He's been forced to do the BVN thing. You get, and someone just calls him and says, "Do this, please. You need." He's scared because he has maybe like 60K, and 60K right now in Nigeria,
it's big money.
A lot of money.
And
he says, "Okay, we need to secure your."
Okay.
Big money.
So you tell him, he says you need to secure your bank account, and he thinks about 60K. He's ready to give that man on the phone all the things in it: BVN, password, date of birth,
his children.
To
be honest, the thing is that you think we're joking. If you see the way all these people, just go to a bank branch on a random Tuesday afternoon, it is always packed with these people, and the problem is knowledge gap.
Yeah.
When there is lack of knowledge on a particular thing, you are extremely paranoid. Yeah. You think anything you do, any information you don't have, any information you don't give, is going to cause trouble for you to access your money. And that is what people exploit these days. That's what's easily exploited these days, like he said. So everybody is just scared. And it's that fear that people use to catch people and get whatever they want from them. Even the smartest people, they will use that fear. Now, let me give you a scenario. You are somebody that has a domiciliary account, a savings account in a bank, and your 1 BVN is tied to all those accounts. Then somebody calls you one day from maybe posing to be an international bank, saying that, giving you good benefits. That's how it is. So that
thing about the accent,
they give you. That's actually something they play on too. They give you good English. They tell you to come and bank with us. Come and do this. We have these good benefits. We have these good interest rates. And then that's how they've caught your attention. You don't know any better. You don't know, and some people don't bother to go and ask
Research- or
because
research.
everybody has pride in their own self-intelligence.
Yeah.
So you won't ask anything. So you just go do your own research and say, okay, this isn't so bad. Now the people who have given you this information, they're one step ahead. They've created websites. They've created
Perfectly cloned website.
cloned websites, perfectly made websites to look like legitimate things. And you just
Wow.
go and pour all your information on it.
Or it could be that they feel like, this opportunity is once in a lifetime. If I don't
And you know, as Nigerians,
And
we always,
exactly.
are always looking for that.
Especially-
I am always looking for that.
Exactly. So
I'm
now,
not
Have
going
you
to-
scammed?
I'm not going to say anything.
Please tell us your story.
and so
no, I
Coming
don't.
back
just
to
like
you,
that,
continue.
they've gotten your information, and then your money starts going missing. Then you start thinking to yourself, Kinimo she.
See, my eye
What did
dey
I
pain me, I've been
do?
at
Is
Jojo
my
with
eye
this.
paining me? Where did I drop this?
Yeah.
What personal detail did I put somewhere? That's how they get you, to be honest. So I think my main advice to people out there is be wary and be informed, and also ask questions.
Yeah, you can't know everything.
Can't
so
know everything. Ask questions.
if you have a son, you have a neighbor. Like, I don't know what this is. Ask them.
Me that I work in IT, anything I don't know, I'm saying.
So
I meet other people.
there's always a community. So
That
always
your
ask,
ignorance
ask
doesn't
each
mean
other.
that you're
Yeah,
stupid.
exactly.
Yeah, because you
just
can
ask.
honestly you can never know everything.
Have you been scammed?
Have I been scammed? Almost.
Hey,
Almost.
tell us.
I think I was trying to. It was when I was doing crypto.
Okay.
I just started. Remember that year now, 2020. I was getting into crypto just to like test the waters. So there was a time I wanted to sell some of my digital currency. I think it was ETH or BNB.
Yeah, Binance.
So the person that I was chatting with, I went to look, because before you sell your currency to somebody, you can look at their previous transactions, you can look at the ratings. I just saw one or two. So I had already sent my digital currency to the person, but then I had network issues. It did not go. Only for me to find out that that guy had no plans on releasing the funds to me. Then I now saw some extra comments that this person
Scam.
was a
Scam,
scammer.
Lele.
That was now the time. Remember that they banned direct transfers on the any
Yeah.
On
on
most of the
e-wallets
banks and everything.
on most of the
Yeah.
banks. So you had to be using P2P. So yeah, that was almost how I was digitally scammed. I will not talk about my local scamming.
Michael.
Yeah, so I think the earliest form of
Michael.
yes, please.
Don't digress.
So I wouldn't say I have been scammed because
Okay.
basically I do what I if I was scammed, it would mean I'm not really good at my job.
Good at
So-
what-
Self-intelligence.
Exactly.
Self-intelligence.
So basically, one of the things I do is try to ensure that a lot of systems, a lot of people are secure with their data. Basically.
Okay.
So, but I think the earliest form of me getting scammed was I think I was in year 1 or so, and I got that email of someone in
The
a
UK or
refugee camp in
everything,
I think Libya or something.
Spoofing
And
attack.
they need
And
money.
they needed money. I needed some money to take. So I went ahead and I think I sent like 20K that time.
Felt bad.
Aww,
No,
that's so
it
nice
felt bad.
of you.
I said you felt bad for the refugees.
The thing is, yeah,
No, so the way this scam works, and I've seen it several times because I've gotten emails like that, especially on Yahoo.
spam.
So they'll tell you they have like $3 million in an account and they're staying with somebody and they want to leave the person and they need you to send money so they can get like a lawyer and the lawyer gets the funds out for them. They will give you like 10-20%. And I mean, it was in dollars. I think it was like maybe like $60,000 or something. What's 20K to 10% of
$1,000.
$6,000? Yeah, one, it was really a lot. I was going to ball. Let me not even lie. If that came. So I did, and I just found that it was just a waste of time. After that first initial deposit, the email stopped working and everything. I think it's one of the things I now found out that I wanted to do something in that line. So information security, cyber security, it's been good. It's good, but to be honest, there's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but
Yes.
20K has done good now.
Well,
You worked on yourself.
He's
and-
smart. It made him just
20K wiser.
to be honest with you, do you know that I can tell you that even at work, when sometimes we do security trainings and say, okay, we'll send like a phishing email. So phishing email is where like you send multiple emails to different people. I want to see who would be very that pick and just
Gullible
click
to
the link
just
on this
click
thing.
on-
So a malicious software could
All
be
you
in.
need to
Yeah.
do is click.
All
the
you just need
link.
to do is click. I'm telling you that even
Okay,
look you, I'm not going to mention companies. I'm telling you that even CIOs of companies, CISOs of companies, will open link and click and fail the test.
And the thing is that it's like muscle memory. You know, if you're like online, you're just clicking things, you're opening things. You don't know when you will just go and click something and the thing about malware is this thing will just enter your system. You won't know. It's not there to do damage. It's just there to collect information.
Yeah.
And that's why people say, let me give an example. Let me give a very scary example. Go on Google, type, I am looking for the price of socks. Open your Jumia app the next day.
Yeah.
You will see the exact socks you searched for on Google on your Jumia
For
app.
like the next 5-6 days,
For the
everything you'll be
next
saying
5-6
is socks.
days, they'll be advertising it.
Socks.
Go on Instagram. Just go to your Instagram and explore. Search for something like a sweater you're looking for. Go on any of these Jumia apps. Look at all those pop-up ads on the side. You
Yeah.
will see all those things you were searching
So,
for.
in as much as big corporations say your data is safe,
See if your data is
it
not
really isn't,
safe.
to be honest.
Your data
But
isn't
me, I've come to terms with it, so I'm fine with.
But the thing
I
is
just
that
me what I can put
the
out there.
data they take, they haven't quite hacked the way to take sensitive data. Some have. But what do they want to use it for? What do they care about Alex from Nigeria's data?
Yeah.
What do they want to use my data
Dugbo,
for?
our data is not safe.
What do you want to use it for? So that's just the main, in the grand scheme of things, I think we Nigerians, we have a long way to go
There's still a long way.
there's a long way to go. There have been improvements.
Yeah.
But now one thing I've seen in this day and age is that one thing I always say out loud when I'm with people, I see it starts from schools. If you go to the schools, all you see in schools are computer engineering, computer science, elect. No cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Even the people that go and learn coding, it's third-party things. They will leave campus and go to places, all these
Yeah.
IT places, to go and learn
Learning.
development work.
Yeah.
And now, those places are not teaching cybersecurity. They are just teaching normal basic development and
So except
coding.
you're like someone that actually wants. So okay. In as much as you said that, there have been a lot of movements with a lot of communities now. So we have the cybersecurity space. There are a lot of communities now for people that want to get into
like
cybersecurity. I know of a particular unit. I don't think I'm allowed to say their names here, but they've been really doing, especially for the females, for
CIA.
females, basically. No, it's not me. It's not me. It's just a shout out to a particular community.
Sounded like James
So they've been
Bond right
really
there.
they've been doing well. I've seen a lot of women in cybersecurity, like a lot. In fact, it's mind blowing. I was telling the person that, why is this thing for women alone? Who is going? And she was like, go and let men start their own thing now, and So there have been a couple of people. Nigerians are getting into it. There is money also in it too. So if you decide to leave,
So you have money.
And the good
I'm
thing,
not
In the end,
and
in
now,
the
the
end,
thing-
in
and
the
now
end, he has money.
one thing we talk about cybersecurity. Everybody said, it's IT. I need to know how to code. Oh, it's IT. I need to know how to code. You don't need to know how to code to dive into the world of cybersecurity. There are plenty fields.
Yeah.
There are
so in
plenty
case you are
Rem-
you're
rem-
done
rem-
here,
Remind me to connect so that
There are plenty.
we need to
Sounds
learn
easy.
so that so
Also,
that
we have
we
money like them too.
important collect. Why is Alex? Why is he? You never see anything.
because the truth is that we're all in the trenches.
But
Let me know
like
that
we're hustling.
I
all in
pray,
the
I pray
trenches.
to God to remove
I want
both of you from the
I
trenches
even want
and
this
remove
kind of
us.
trenches. If it's trenches, I want.
Wow.
Okay, be careful of what you wish for sometimes, okay?
But
okay.
yeah.
But you guys,
Yeah.
so do this fraud, does it happen in fintechs? I think no, yeah, it actually does happen in fintech.
Okay, yeah. So the truth is that I'm going to give kudos to the banks. They spend a lot of money on trying to keep things safe.
Protection.
People complain about their money being stolen, but to be honest, there's no way you can actually have a foolproof system. They actually they spend a lot of money. If they did not spend, I'm sure you people wouldn't even have your money in your accounts anymore again.
And sorry for cutting you off. And
Yeah.
one thing I say is that banks always do their best to make sure the collateral does not fall on the customer.
Yeah.
It falls on them. That's why when and if you work in a bank, when customers lose money, the bank is more vexed because we are the ones that have to give the customer back
Yeah.
from our own money. So that's why banks do not like losing money.
Oh.
Banks
To
do not
avoid
like
cases
losing
whereby
money.
someone will just jump on this table.
Yes.
Give me
Banks-
my money.
Banks
My money
don't
they
like
disappear
losing
from my
money.
account.
So it is, the thing is that the bank can continue working once the customers are kept satiated. Even if you are the one that is losing money, you will do your bass boost within the
In-house.
bank, in-house,
Yeah.
but the customers are satisfied. So it's like what is the banks pride themselves on complete.
So
Not-
for
not-
But
fintech,
not
somehow
complete
it doesn't
protections.
usually look that way on the outside. I mean,
It-
when we see videos of people going to climb tables and shout, scream at the top of their head, it's like the people working there are usually like so nonchalant and like, okay, calm down. Because
well.
am I trained?
I don't think she likes customer.
She does
care
not like
people.
customer care. It's like you've had experience.
She complained about that lady with the accent in the
Yes.
face, or that man in the accent.
Yeah, it's like they've
Mr. John or
scorned-
something.
She has been
She's already said
scorned.
that.
She has been
Am I throwing
scorned.
shades at you?
So I think so the truth is, let's say for fintechs now, there are still a lot of fintechs that are upcoming, and they might not have the traditional infrastructure that most of those holding banks
Have.
they have, but I think they still try. But the truth is, a lot of these things are things that are mistakes by people. For example, there was a popular betting company, that a lot of money was going out of their people were using it to so all you needed to do was put your number, and if you haven't guessed the pin or get the person's email, you could deposit into that particular sport betting listen, then withdraw the money into your own account, and it was
Wow.
working until the what's it called? The betting company had to now put what we call a 2FA, which is multi-factor authentication. I think everybody should have that for your apps, whatever.
Best,
it
honestly,
is.
if you can even
if you
take
can
it
have
further
triple
to
safe,
triple,
fine,
like biometric.
and everything. So it happens in fintechs because we still think that they are not as matured as those guys, but I think they still try and put as much as possible, because
Yeah.
even things like I was reading recently online that a person complained that his SIM, he was outside the country for a while, so his SIM, he thought they had assigned the SIM to someone, but apparently reassigning the SIM doesn't mean that person can still use your number to get money out of your account. So the person just saw that, yes, they reassigned the SIM to me, let me try and see what the account is linked to, and so that it was linked to a GTB account, and you just withdrew the money.
JJ.
So there are things like SIM swap frauds and all that that happen
Yeah.
a lot.
Clone sims.
Yeah.
Clone SIMs.
Reminds me of a colleague of mine. I think she had to go somewhere, and then some of her stuffs got stolen, her phone, and then I don't know how the person happened to withdraw the money, the money she had left in her account, and then used her card to borrow money.
That's double
That's
trouble.
double.
That's double homicide.
Double homicide.
That's
$100,000 plus,
wickedness.
and like, where does she want to start paying the money from? You get so okay. If that one should happen,
Now, another thing about this is negligence. Like you said, in-house negligence.
Yeah.
Let me give you a scenario. Something happened to me recently with my NIN. Once you automatically have a BVN, an NIN is generated for you by the NIMC. So when I first came back from school, I bought a SIM, registered it on the NIN that came with my BVN. So I was convinced that this NIN on my SIM was my own. So when I got a new job, I was trying to set up my pension. They said they needed my NIN, only for me to send my NIN to this person. And they said, please, sir, the name on your NIN is not your own. And I'm like,
What?
Enikwe? What do you mean the name on my NIN is not my own? I've been using this phone for the past 4 years. This NIN has been mine for the past 4 years. They said, is your name Sunday? I said, Sunday Bawu. I now went to NIMC. They now said that this SIM I'm using is a recycled SIM. And the person that owned this phone number before used the phone number to register that NIN under his name.
Yeah.
what?
New SIM that I bought too.
How is?
New SIM that I bought. So even me, I was baffled. Then I had to do recapturing and get a new NIN. Then knock off this other NIN on my number.
So yeah, a lot of bottlenecks. It's not a perfect system, but it can be better.
Yeah, it
Can
should
be
be
better.
better. I mean, it
Can be
really,
better.
really should be better.
And the main thing people are using to secure their funds now.
Yeah.
Identity. It is all in identity. If someone can get access to your identity, BVN, NIN. I even told people these days that if you want to flex on the gram that somebody sent you money, please be blocking your account number.
Yeah.
I told my friend one day, like me, if I work in a bank and I am a fraudster that somebody is siphoning money from me to do stuff for him in bank, there are some databases I have access to that I can just go in, log into the live environment. Getting access, I can just talk to one or two people or somebody that has access, pretend that I'm doing normal projects or normal work. I'll just go to your account and pull money and give the person that wants it. And the person that wants it can just cover my track.
And you collect your share.
And I collect my share.
So our money is not safe like this.
No,
The thing is,
it
that
is
it
safe.
is, but you just need to.
Well, like I said,
Should we go back to putting it underground inside clay pot? I don't mind. I can dig. I
they
can dig.
said they want to. They are redesigning the notes.
The
now,
notes.
So if you bring much money and they arrest you, well,
I cannot be arrested.
that's all I'm going
So
to say.
it's all about they think now they're just. You just need to be very careful these days.
Yeah,
To avoid
very, very
stories
careful.
Okay.
That touch.
touch the heart.
So how can we actually? Why do people do fraud? How can we even curb this?
So that question,
As a
the
country.
question is, why do people do fraud? I'm hungry.
Are you hungry?
I've used-
See you. See you.
Well,
See you
it's
looking
not-
at
it's
me.
not
So
by
looking
face,
at
so
me
it's
like,
not by face.
"Eh,
It's not
you
by
cannot
face,
tell me
so-
nothing."
It's not by
I'm very
face.
hungry. I
It's not
think
by
I think a
face.
lot of people have it rough in Nigeria, but it's not an excuse.
we
I'm
do.
not
Definitely.
Yeah.
saying it's an excuse, but I've seen a 13-year-old that is into Yahoo. A 13-year-old, and
Oh yeah, we did
That's
see
crazy.
it on the
No, that's another
gram.
thing.
So,
Guys
I don't
actually
think it's also
killed
education.
and girls for rituals.
it's part of it. I think. Well, you thing is, if you say you are 13 and you're doing Yahoo, it means that something is wrong.
Wrong
Something is wrong
somewhere.
So
somewhere.
because at
And
13, I remember I was not like
Yeah, playing with sand.
no, I was watching Power Rangers and
Enjoying life.
enjoying
Are you sure you did not
the
play with
inside
sand?
life.
no, maybe I did. I don't know. She's trying to social engineer me. What exactly?
And also, the thing about why people commit fraud, times are hard, and also, it's also gang related, gang mentality. You see, half of these guys that do Yahoo, they belong to a horde, a cluster. They're like maybe 30 or 20 of them, and they have one senator or one member of parliament or one big Ara Adubo that is controlling all of them.
Yeah.
So they do it, they get the funds, they give them, and they get their cuts. That is what happens. Like, it's their way of life. It's now a hustle.
Yeah, you grew up
It
and
is now
say,
a
I want to
hustle.
be a Yahoo boy.
It is now
Used
a
to be, I want to
hustle.
be a doctor.
It is now a hustle. I want to be a
Or
Yahoo boy. I want to buy iPhone
I want to
14.
do
Like if some
flex.
people are proud that what want to be, I want to be a yeah, move very shashy.
Yes,
Exactly.
Especially Yahoo.
So it's like a way of life now.
No.
And the thing I keep telling people is that it's unfortunate, but Yahoo boys are actually not smart. They are so easy to catch.
So to be honest with you, I think we give them more
Crazy.
Credit.
credit
Credit.
because to be honest, they basically do
They
nothing.
basically do nothing. All they do is lie on
If I
social
give
media.
you an ethical hacker is someone that actually does it well. If I give you an hacker from Japan or Tokyo or
Even
Russia,
some from Nigeria, even.
yeah, there are good guys
Good
now
guys in
too.
Nigeria.
16-year-olds that actually do the real fraud thing, like hack into databases, social engineer. So the latest hack that
Hackathon.
went, the one that went for Uber,
Hmm.
I think that guy was 14 or 15.
Crazy.
So those are the guys that I am scared
I'm
of.
scared of all these Yahoo boys. They don't.
These guys, if you engage in discussions with them, they're literally next to nothing. They are basically on the level of dating scams, getting people's accounts and trying to
Log into
log
Just
in,
telling
the
them,
whole wire
telling them
thing.
to give them.
In as much as you
funds,
might think
lying
it's a
to
very
them,
complex thing,
identity theft. All
You just
this
need the
stuff.
right details and right information, and you can
So
get
how
those
so
things.
how can we actually curb these things then as
Curb.
a country? Yeah.
Well, honestly, the way to curb it is to actually have a system that works.
Word.
Yeah.
If you don't have a system that works, you are not going to curb anything. And the thing about having a system that works in Nigeria is having a system that works long term and maintaining it.
Yeah.
So if we have now, this is just me being hypothetical because I know it's hard work. Imagine every local government area had a cybersecurity unit in every district in Lagos.
Yeah.
that monitors. Let's stick to just movement of money. Since you have an ATM in every corner you look at in Lagos, imagine there's a cybersecurity team that monitors movements within every ATM. There's something banks are working on now, fraud management system. If you send, like now, if you want to transfer money, if you send 3,000 5 times in a row, by the time you get to the third time, it will flag you for suspicious activity. That's the new system banks.
Because it's very easy to beat fraud.
Because it's very easy
also
to beat
in
fraud.
Nigeria.
If you want to wire 50 million and you have like 150 people, you just give them different ATM cards to go and withdraw 20k each in the span of 1 week. You've gotten your money.
Simple as ABC. But on the so I think for learning people, there's one basic thing we can do. Like I said, I think the first thing you can get is 2FA for almost everything you own. Even your laptops, there's something we call BitLocker. It helps you lock your hard drive. So in case you even get robbed, people don't have access to your information on your laptop. But on your phone, the bank apps have really done a lot, trying to put. So they will tell you,
and they've made it very
user-friendly.
scalable. They've made it to the like now. If you misplace all your cards right now, there's something in First Bank called account block.
Yeah.
You don't need to use your own phone. If your phone goes missing, your card goes missing, you can just take someone's phone, dial the code, block your account from the person's phone immediately.
Wow.
Because your phone number is tied to your account number.
Yeah.
So you can block your accounts.
True.
So nobody can do anything with your accounts. You can also do it for your USSD so that people cannot use your USSD to transfer money.
Because that's
out of
another
your
way
accounts. That's how people
actually
steal money.
Yeah.
steal money.
Because for USSD, sometimes there are some services that they don't need your PIN for some transfer amounts. There are some amounts that you don't need the USSD.
That's when
It just
somebody will
goes
buy 100,000 naira at a time.
Happened to my friend too again.
It's easier
Oh my
instead
God.
instead of sending it. So I'll go and sell it to somebody now. Will you buy a time? So if somebody just messages one day, will you buy it in 50k? You need to be asking yourself.
Hey, that's
Okay,
What's
true.
happening?
I mistakenly bought.
What's going on?
I mistakenly bought 50k at time.
Yes,
Please come and buy.
exactly. Come and buy. Omo, God will save all of us.
So it's like what you said. 2FA banks they are creating more and more ways.
Yeah, I think they're doing a lot of and I think people maybe they need to go to the granular level also. Have radio jingles in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Hausa.
to
As you
enlighten
don't share your pay with anyone. Because to be honest with you, for example, on personal loan, my dad can just tell me, Michael, please, I need to help me withdraw something from the ATM. Ideally, I shouldn't have his PIN. Yeah, it's family, but I shouldn't really have his PIN. So things like keeping every data you have to yourself is very important. You can put it maybe on your Gmail because things somebody dies now, nobody knows the PIN might be lost. But things like people are alive around you, try as much as possible to limit the information that you share. Because everything can be used. Because people can guess. Imagine your recovery password for your bank PIN being what was your first pet or what was your mother's name. So let's say I try and log into there and I see what was your mother's name, and I know your name is maybe Shalewa or something, and I just put Shalewa and I already have access into your this thing now. So there are informations that you need to be very. That's why even they tell you how your passwords are. It should be alphanumeric with symbols. Don't make it easy. Don't have there's no reason why in 2022 your password should be password.
There's no
Makes
reason
no
in
sense.
2022
Shade-
that
It's
your-
one of the
shade
most-
should go to
there's no
anything.
reason that your password should not have symbols.
Yeah,
Because that is what
numbers.
makes passwords strong.
Yeah.
There are some websites that if you just put
Your
normal letters, it will not allow you create the
Yeah.
password.
They embed it now because I think I saw if you have a 16-digit password that has numbers, numerals, and this thing, it takes about 150 years to break if you run it through. So if you have something like password, maybe like an hour or something. So you need to take care of yourself.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, anyways, we've come to an end.
All right.
And I really, really wish this would end because you could be like, see, I won't enter your account, man, hacker, man, see, waiting there. But anyways,
What you see is what you get. That's all I can say.
Well, the best podcast in Nigeria, Africa, and the world has come to an end, and I hope you guys really did enjoy this session as much as we did.
Yep,
See these
I
two
did,
people.
I did.
If you see them outside,
They
bill
have
them. They have money.
I'll just say amen. I always say amen.
They
I always
have
say amen.
money.
A big shout out to all my airpads.
Amen. Please don't take this.
I still need help.
I yell.
Anyway,
loyal.
follow us on our social media pages. Let us know what you feel in the comment section. Remember, it's Playhouse Communications on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and don't be afraid on Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. I hope you guys have fun listening or watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.